plan. There comes a time in life when silence is no longer a comfort. It's a burden. Plan. When the kind lies we tell ourselves are more dangerous than the hard truths we avoid. And that time for most of us, plan, arrives not with a whisper, but with a jolt, a wake-up call. Life doesn't always tap you on the shoulder gently. Sometimes, plan, it grabs you by the collar and shakes you awake. Not to punish you, but to remind you, plan. You were not born to sleepwalk through your own life. We live in a world where soft encouragement is celebrated, plan, but tough love is often misunderstood. Yet it's in those brutally honest moments when someone tells you, plan, you're not doing enough, or when life humbles you with failure, that true transformation begins. Plan, wake-up calls and tough love aren't cruelty. They are clarity. Plan. They are uncomfortable mirrors we need to face so we can finally stop surviving and start living with intention. Plan. Here are the 7 key truths you must face, even if they hurt. Because sometimes, plan, growth only begins when comfort ends. There's a moment we all face in silence. A pause between hope and helplessness. When we realize that the rescue we've been waiting for isn't coming. Plan. That the person we thought would understand didn't. That the friend we leaned on wasn't strong enough to carry us. Plan. That the world, as beautiful as it is, doesn't hand out miracles to the motionless. In that moment, you may feel abandoned, lost, plan, maybe even broken. But that moment is not the end. It's the beginning of your awakening. Plan. It is human to crave help, to long for someone to show up with answers, to fix the mess, to offer comfort and certainty. Plan. But the truth is your healing, your growth, your success, they are all your responsibility. No one else has your scars. Plan. Your dreams, your fire. So how can they be expected to fight your battles? You may be loved by many, supported by a few. Plan. But in the end, the climb must be made by you, step by shaky step. Even when no one claps, even when no one sees. Plan. Waiting for a savior puts your life on pause. It delays your greatness, makes you settle, and lets fear make your decisions. Plan. The longer you wait for someone else to act, the more disconnected you become from your own power. Plan. What you don't realize is, the moment you stop waiting, you rise. You take back the pen. You rewrite the narrative. Plan. You stop being the victim of your circumstances and become the architect of your future. Plan. That shift, from waiting to working, is where real strength is born. This is not about independence in the cold, lonely sense. Plan. It's about ownership. You are the one who must choose, the one who must try, the one who must fail forward, love deeply. Plan. Fight bravely and show up for your own life, because no one else can live it for you. Plan. The moment you understand that nobody's coming to save you, that's when you finally see the truth. Plan. You were the hero all along. Not the one in shining armor, but the one standing in the storm, refusing to bow. Plan. Excuses are comforting, aren't they? They give us something to lean on when our courage feels small. Plan. They dress up our fears in logic, wrap our hesitation in reason. Plan. It's not the right time. I'm not ready. What if I fail? They sound so believable that we start mistaking them for truth. Plan. But deep down, if you sit in silence long enough, you'll hear it. That tiny voice whispering, say, this is not your truth. Plan. This is your fear pretending to protect you. What we call excuses are often regrets we haven't owned yet. Plan. They are the dreams we buried under. Someday. The goals we abandoned because trying felt too risky. Plan. The conversations we never had, the art we never made. And one day, not today, plan, but one day, those excuses will echo back to us in the form of, what if I had tried? And that sound, that regret, plan, is louder than any failure could ever be. Because failure teaches, but regret haunts. Plan. The dangerous thing about excuses is not just that they delay action, it's that they create false peace. Plan. They let you sleep at night, but steal your rest in the morning. They keep your life small, not because the world is unfair. Plan. But because your belief in yourself is conditional. If you keep telling yourself stories about why you can't, eventually, plan. Those stories become your reality, not because they're true, but because you never challenge them. Plan. If you're honest with yourself, you'll see it. Behind every excuse is a fear waiting to be faced. Fear of failure. Plan. Fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. But life was never meant to be lived behind fear. Plan. It was meant to be walked through boldly, with trembling hands and a brave heart. Plan. The only way to stop writing regret into your future is to stop speaking excuses into your present. You don't need to be perfect. Plan. You just need to be willing. Comfort is seductive. It feels warm, familiar, and safe. It's the voice that says, plan. Don't try too hard. Don't take risks. Plan. Just stay here, where it's predictable. But what we often fail to see is that comfort is not always kindness. Sometimes, plan. It's a soft prison, a slow decay of purpose. Because what feels safe today might silently be stealing your strength for tomorrow. Plan. The comfort zone doesn't kill you loudly. It doesn't strike like a storm. Plan. It gently rocks you to sleep while your dreams wither in the background. You stop stretching. You stop questioning. Plan. You stop growing. Life becomes repetitive. Not because there's nothing left to explore, but because you stopped exploring. Plan. And over time, you start calling that stillness peace, when really it's just paralysis. Plan. Staying in your comfort zone might protect you from failure, but it also blocks you from becoming who you were meant to be. Plan. Nothing great, nothing revolutionary, nothing deeply fulfilling has ever been born from ease. Plan. The moment you step outside of what's familiar, when your heart races, your knees tremble. Plan. And your doubts grow louder, that's when the real you starts to show up. The version of you that was waiting to be discovered. Plan. Not just remembered. Growth does not happen in silence and stillness. It happens in resistance, in tension, in chaos. And yes, plan. It will be uncomfortable. Yes, it will challenge everything you think you know about yourself. Plan. But it is only by walking through that discomfort, through the fire, that you begin to shape something deeper than success. Plan. Character. So the next time comfort calls you back, ask yourself, is this comfort or is this my cage? Real love isn't silent. Plan. It doesn't clap for you when you're walking off a cliff. It doesn't sit quietly when you're sinking into self-destruction. Plan. Just to keep the peace. Real love has a voice. And sometimes that voice sounds like confrontation. Plan. It sounds like, you're better than this. You're playing small, or even, wake up. It's not cruelty. Plan. It's courage. The courage to speak truth when silence would be easier. Plan. We've been taught to surround ourselves with people who make us feel good. Plan. But what we really need is people who make us be better. The ones who aren't impressed by our excuses. Plan. The ones who don't buy into the polished version of our pain. Plan. The ones who say the uncomfortable thing because they see the greatness we're too afraid to step into. Plan. Their honesty might sting in the moment, but it's a sting that saves. Sometimes we push these people away. We call them harsh, plan, critical, or negative, not because they are wrong, but because we aren't ready to face what they see. But one day, plan, you will realize the ones who called you out were the ones who actually showed up. Plan. The ones who loved you enough to challenge, you were the ones who refused to let you settle. Plan. That's not disrespect. That's a deep, relentless kind of love. It takes humility to listen to these voices. Plan. To lean into the discomfort and say, Maybe they're right. Growth doesn't happen in echo chambers. It happens in truth, plan. And truth isn't always gentle, but it is always a gift, plan. So if someone in your life has the courage to hold up a mirror instead of a mask, don't turn away, plan. That reflection may be the very thing that leads you home to yourself. When you begin to grow, it won't feel like a triumph, plan. It will feel like grief. You'll grieve the person you used to be, even if that person was stuck, afraid, or small, plan. There's comfort in familiarity, even when it's holding you back. So when you start letting go of habits, routines, people, plan, or identities that once defined you, plan, it may not feel empowering. It may feel like you're breaking into pieces you don't yet understand, plan. You will begin to outgrow people, not because you love them less, plan, but because your spirit no longer fits into conversations about blame, gossip, or mediocrity, plan. You'll outgrow environments where your voice is silenced, your dreams dismissed, plan, or your value measured by things that don't reflect your soul. And while you're evolving, others may say you've changed, plan. They may call you distant, difficult, or cold. But in truth, you're just becoming clear, plan. The hard part is that growth doesn't announce itself with applause. It comes quietly, often disguised as isolation, plan. You'll wonder if you're doing the right thing when the familiar falls away and the new hasn't arrived yet, plan. There's a strange loneliness that comes with shedding your old self. But don't mistake that emptiness for failure, plan. It's not the end. It's the space between chapters. It's the sacred silence before the new you finds her voice, plan. Every meaningful transformation comes at a cost. Sometimes you lose comfort. Sometimes you lose approval, plan. Sometimes you lose people you thought would stay. But what you gain, clarity, strength, depth, alignment, is worth every tear, plan. Growth feels like loss at first, because you're not just changing your life, you're changing who you are willing to be, plan. Healing is often romanticized, as if it's a quiet, beautiful journey filled with peace, sunlight, and gentle transformation, plan. But real healing, it's raw, it's messy, it unearths the very pain you tried to bury, plan. It forces you to revisit the wounds you thought you had forgotten. It brings tears on random days, triggers from unexpected words, plan, and loneliness even in a room full of people. And that is not a sign of failure. That is the cost of finally facing what broke you, plan. At first, it will feel like you're getting worse, not better. You'll question your strength, plan. You'll ask yourself if going back into that darkness was a mistake. But here's the truth, plan. You cannot clean a wound you refuse to look at. Healing demands that you peel back the layers, sit in the discomfort, plan, and stop pretending you're fine when you're not. The pain isn't returning to destroy you. It's surfacing to be released, plan. And that release is what sets you free. Sometimes healing means walking away from the people who hurt you, even if you love them, plan. Sometimes it means forgiving someone who never said sorry. And sometimes, plan. The hardest part is forgiving yourself for staying too long, for shrinking too often, for believing you deserved less, plan. But healing isn't about forgetting. It's about learning to carry the lesson without holding on to the wound. You will cry, plan. You will break. But then, slowly, you'll begin to breathe again. You'll laugh without guilt, sleep without fear, plan. Speak without shaking. That first breath of freedom will feel unfamiliar, like a place you've never been but always longed for, plan. And when you feel it, even for a moment, you'll know this pain has purpose. This hurt is working, plan. This healing is real. So here you are, standing at the edge of your old life, staring into the possibility of something more, plan. And maybe this speech didn't comfort you. Maybe it challenged you, plan. Maybe it stirred something inside you that you've tried to silence for far too long. Good plan, because real change doesn't begin with comfort. It begins with honesty. This was your wake-up call. Not a whisper, but a roar. Plan. A reminder that time is moving whether you're ready or not. That your potential is not waiting for the perfect conditions. Plan. It's waiting for your courage. And that love, real love, doesn't always show up soft. Sometimes it arrives as tough love. Plan. As truth. As the push you didn't want but absolutely needed. You don't have to be perfect. Plan. You don't have to have it all figured out. But you do have to begin. You have to get up when it's hard. Plan. Speak up when it's scary. And rise when no one is watching. Plan. Because the world doesn't need more people who play it safe. It needs more people who live wide awake. Plan. Your life is not on pause. It's happening right now. So get up, get honest, get real. Plan. You were never meant to sleep through your greatness. You were meant to rise into it.